This is Mountain Sports Corner with Jamie and James.
Week number 4 of the Mountain Sports Corner with James Sandlin and myself, Jamie Hughes here. And James, buddy, we continue to have fun each and every week with this show here, and looking forward to tonight's show.
Yeah, man. Got the head coach of Hazard High School on the phone with us. Coach, thanks for joining us.
No problem. I appreciate you guys having me.
Coach Matt Chandler and his Bulldogs 2-0 on the season. And, Coach, you go to Harlan across the big mountain and got an impressive win, man.
Yeah, it was a really good win. You know, I think Harlan County, we talked all week to our kids, was in a similar situation as us. You know, new coaching staff on film, it was obvious watching the Middlesboro game that they were much improved. I think Coach Saylor's doing a heck of a job over there. And both teams really riding a high going into the game. So we were excited to get in a big atmosphere and play against a quality opponent, and our kids found a way to get it done.
Coach, you quarterbacks having a good year so far to help you lead the way.
Yeah, Max is having a great year, and I'm really happy for him, man. This is his 4th year starting. He started his freshman year on at quarterback, and he struggled last year, and it was the offense really struggled to find a rhythm all year. And I think what we're doing is, when I watched him play on film, and then I watched him throw some in the winter when he would go up there and just throw with those guys, I kind of had a feeling that his skill set would fit what we want to do offensively. And he's really thrived in it, and he's having a lot of fun right now. It's just, he's a kid that really deserves it.
Coach, what do you think so far has been your strengths, and what are some things you want to improve on as we get closer to the midway range?
I think we've been really good defensively, man. Coach Corey Martin, our defensive coordinator, has done a heck of a job. We're really prepared week to week, but he also keeps it simple enough that our guys are able to just go play and not overthink stuff, and not constantly be worried about making a ton of adjustments on defense, but being sound in what we do. And then the surprising part for me, in a really good way too, has been our offensive line. We've got kids, we're starting 2 freshmen at each tackle spot. Don't have a senior up front. We're starting another guy who's a sophomore, and then 2 juniors, and they've been really physical. They've really bought into understanding our scheme and week to week. Overall, and what we need to improve on, I think just consistency. We're so young. Our guys don't quite understand yet how you got to attack every single day to get better. And we have a hiccup every now and then, but we usually respond pretty well when I challenge them. So hopefully we get that ironed out and stack some good days together and keep winning football games.
Coach, I had a chance to interview you the first week they named you the head coach. You've had a little while now to settle in. What have you learned about Hazard High School that perhaps you didn't know about, or Hazard in general?
Everybody told me, and being from the mountains, you kind of understand how much excitement and how much support you have in the community. But being here now for this period of time, it's still been overwhelming. There just wasn't any way to understand it or expect it. And then when we came out, I knew it was going to be crazy. Everybody was really excited, and then we come out and play that first game at home, and we, just a ton of people there, and all the tailgate spots are full, and it's, it feels like a small college atmosphere up there in a lot of ways, and that part's been really awesome. Everybody's been great to me and my family, and just the community support and how proud everybody is of this program has been really cool.
Coach, getting here in the spring, y'all had a really good spring practice. Your kids worked really hard in the off season. But from your first, appearance at Hazard High School after you got named the head coach of Hazard up until now, you're 2-0. What's been the most surprising thing to you? What's the one thing when you got here you didn't expect? And then I guess there's a twofold. What's the second part of that is going to be, what's the one thing you still got to improve on the most?
I've been surprised at how competitive our young guys are. If you're going to play a lot of young guys, it's easier to do it in 1A football than it is anywhere else. But they're super competitive. They don't back down from anything. And when people ask, how have you managed to get things rolling so quickly, I think that's my biggest thing, is just these young kids, the freshmen we're playing, the sophomores we're playing, are just, they play really tough and they're really super competitive, and they're not intimidated by being in that moment. But, the other part of your question also is dealing with that youth and dealing with, guys who are figuring out how to go through the ups and downs of the day-to-day of, having a bad day and then having to get it together and respond the next day, and learning how to get into a scouting report and get ready for an opponent and not let the mental part of it overwhelm you. We've really got to continue to be better at that kind of stuff, because, you look down our schedule and really starting this week against a really, really good Paris team, we've got to be able to scheme some things to put ourselves in a position to succeed against teams that on paper are probably a little bit better than us.
Coach, again, we won't take any more of your time, but just wanted to have you on here and say congratulations on a good start. And we appreciate the relationships we've already had with you, and looking forward to calling a couple of your games. We've got you on the schedule a couple of times here, and we just wanted to have you on tonight and congratulate you on a good start. And, of course, as you go into the rest of the season, wish you the best of luck.
Oh, I appreciate it, guys. Like I said, I've appreciated everything that you guys have done so far, and anytime that we get a chance to promote our kids and our program and our community is a really cool thing for me, and I just appreciate you guys and what you did.
Coach, tell everybody out why they should come out this Friday night and watch the Bulldogs play Paris.
Well, they're really good. I look at all these things. Coach Rice is their head coach, and he was involved in their youth program for a little while before he got the head coaching job, and he's done a tremendous job there, and he's really got them rolling. And I look at, cat's paws and all these other things that talk about teams that are sleepers in 1A, and I don't see nearly enough people mention Paris, because when you turn on the film, it's really impressive. I mean, they're athletic, they play hard. There's just multiple guys that you have to be concerned about on both sides of the ball. And so, with the way that we're playing, with the way our kids have responded and stepped up, I think we're one of the better games, certainly in 1A this week. I know Pikeville goes to LCA, but if you're talking about true 1A games of small school versus small school, I don't know that there's a better game in the state of Kentucky this week than what we're going to play at Daniel Field. It's going to be a big challenge for us, but we're excited. We had a really good day of practice today, so hopefully by Friday we're ready to go.
Coach, again, thanks for coming on, man, and we'll try to get you back on. We can have a little more time with you, but just wanted to have you on, and we appreciate you carving some time out to talk to us, okay?
No problem, guys. Thank you.
Good luck, Coach.
And again, that's the head coach for the Hazard Bulldogs, Matt Chandler there, James. And while we're on high school football mode, man, some big games last week. Of course, we said Prairie Central had to fix some things. Well, they fixed them.
They fixed them. They fixed them quick.
They did indeed. They went down to Jackson, Kentucky, and now I'm beginning to wonder, is it Breathitt County that's got some things to fix? Because Prairie Central, they had their way with them, man.
Man, they do, but Prairie Central, Breathitt County's got a young running back core and a young quarterback. And Coach Moore, there's not a guy that knows the game probably any better than him. And it'll take him. We talked about it early on. It's going to take him 2 or 3 games to figure out what his strengths are. But come by the middle of September, the end of September, when they start worrying about the postseason playoffs, I think that the boys on the riverbank will start figuring it out.
What's more surprising to you, the fact that Belfry's 1-1, Pikeville has not won a game, Breathitt has not won a game, or the fact that some of these teams are still undefeated that maybe didn't win a game last year? Which one's more surprising to you?
Pikeville's not surprising to me. They went 0 and I think 4 2 years ago and was a state championship, and everybody was in panic.
Belfry done it the same way. Belfry lost 5 in a row and still won.
Sometimes they play those tough games early on. I think that Knott's playing a lot better than what people was going to give them a little credit for. Coach Mullins has done a good job in the offseason. Prairie's getting it figured out pretty quick, but now they're going to start getting into the heart of their schedule here shortly. I don't know if you really say that there's a surprising team. Letcher's playing really well.
I think Prestonsburg, once again, we find ourselves saying this. Prestonsburg's off to a better start than everybody thought they were going to be, man. The Black Cats playing pretty good football over there in Floyd County.
If I'd have to be surprised anything, it would be the slow start, I guess, to Leslie County. I surely figured they would be 2-0 instead of 1-1 right now.
But I think in that second half,
they figured
some stuff out.
I think 35, 36 points in the second half over at Floyd Central gets it gets it figured out pretty quick.
Collett stepped up and decided that, hey, I
5
am going to be the
rushing
man that
touchdowns.
everybody says I am, whether it be by my arm or my feet.
Yeah,
Either way.
5 rushing touchdowns for that young man, so he had a really good ball game. And
Letcher had a tough contest. They probably the Cougars probably had the biggest task, I feel like, last week. Went to Raceland and played them well, just lost there at the end of the football game.
yeah, I mean, it was a tied ball game going in at halftime. It was a really good ball game. Coach Matthews has got a good ball club up there. I'm interested in it. I think Pikeville will get it settled out. They always do. That's a football school as well. So
Paintsville lost to Paris that he talked about 63-30. They scored 63 points.
that was surprising because Floyd Central's got a decent, or pretty good little football team, and Paintsville beat Floyd Central, opened up Friday night, the first week, and so I guess that score was kind of surprising out of week one.
And then, of course, back to circle the wagons, Knox County Central, a team that beat them last year on the road. The Patriots, I feel like from beginning to end, had a good performance against Jackson County for the dub.
Yeah, they did. This time the roles was reversed. When we went to Jackson County last year, Knott had the turnovers, and Jackson County capitalized on it. And this year, it was early on. Jackson County fumbled the ball a couple of times. I think had 3 turnovers in the first half, and Knott was able to score on all 3 of those turnovers. So Knott was able to reverse the role, and maybe that's an example of last year. We fumbled the ball to 1 yard line and had several key turnovers last year. And maybe that experience and learning curve last year that we went through is going to make the difference this year.
I think for the Patriots, they're realizing they've got multiple weapons. They're not just Chance Amberg and Bryson Edwards. They have now Zeke Hurley, in my opinion, is starting to make a name for himself. And then Shane Gibson had some catches that, any coach in the country would like to have had him playing. Gage is playing really good at the QB spot. So I'm happy for the Patriots, brother.
Yeah, they've got several big kids. Their lines stepping up. We talked about it this weekend. Their lines step up. So I think that last year, that full year of getting some experience and growth under their belt, starting to pay off this year.
Then our friends down in Manchester, Kentucky, Clay County got a big W, 42-6 over Harlan. And I know that the folks down there are just really excited about where things are going. And high school football, week number 3, you and I will be at Knox County and Lynn Camp.
Yeah, at home this Friday night.
Not 100% sure HT24, if they're carrying that game, is Manus and David Bale at Letcher. So that'd be a good one.
Bale's got a good one. They've got a quarterback down there that is phenomenal. Burnett, I think he's a junior. Probably could be candidate in a year for maybe Mr. Football in Bell County. The young man's a heck of a player.
And I could just all day long, I'd buy Dudley Hilton supper just to listen to him talk, man. He's so
He'd
fun
have
to
some
sit there.
stories to tell, yeah.
You ain't wrong about that.
Yeah.
James, it's a busy show for us. We've still got the Hazard High School golf team coming in, the Prairie Central volleyball teams coming in. Before we go, though, to the next segments, I want to give a shout-out to those that have been playing in the Knox County Grade School basketball tournament. Of course, the semifinals now being played at the Morton Combs Athletic Complex. We'll play that Saturday morning, and then Monday night right here on HT24 and Hometown Sports Corners, we'll have those championship games. And just a lot of good talent here in Knox County on the grade school ranks.
Busy gets busier.
Oh, we knew it would, man. We knew it would. Did you get a chance to watch the Cats?
Yeah, I did. So we'll see. I mean, I'm still optimistic. I think we've.
Educate me. Is the quarterback as good as I think he is, or am I getting my hopes up too quick?
Man, I don't know. It's some of those schools. It's hard to tell. I think that he's got a chance to get there. I think our defense has got to shore up a few things.
I don't know if we've been on a soapbox in 4 weeks. I don't know if we've complained about anything on this show. So can I take 2 minutes and say, would you have been as frustrated as I think I would have been if you'd have went down there and not got to watch a whole game?
I think so.
Me too, man.
I think so, but I mean, it is what it is.
No, it ain't what it ain't. We're paying. We're paying now.
We are.
Those tickets
paying.
ain't cheap, brother. And I just feel like they probably could have done something different for the fans. I don't want the kids playing in Lightning, but they did have the opportunity to come back and play in that one and still have had 5 days to get ready for week number 2.
Yeah, maybe,
I didn't buy that.
Maybe move it over until Saturday play.
Should have played.
Sunday. So
Yep, and that's just my opinion.
yeah,
That and 50 cents won't buy you a pop.
No,
course.
but it will get you an IL deal.
James and I getting ready to get out of here and see if we can't get, as soon as the show's over, Josh, to take us down, buy us a ribeye sandwich. Of course, the Gingerbread Festival taking place as we air tonight's show. And what's your favorite thing down there, man?
Oh, man, you got the cheesecakes, the tenderloin sandwiches, the loaded tater tots. I could go on and on.
I think I will. Yes, and yes.
Me too. Yeah.
Hey, how about we just take a short break here, and we'll be back with the Perry County Central Lady Commodores. Got a couple of their key players on a very successful team, and we'll see what they have to say here just in a second. More to come here on Mountain Sports Corner.
This is Mountain Sports Corner with Jamie and James.
And welcome to Mountain Sports Corner on Thursday night. Jamie, we got special guests in the room with us tonight, some Lady Commodores from Perry Central. Ladies, introduce yourselves to everybody.
I'm Taylor Hoskins, a senior at Perry Central.
And I'm Melissa Dixon, a senior at Perry Central.
Man, I'm telling you what, we're eat up with volleyball. We said last week, volleyball is might be the hottest sport going right now, ladies.
Yeah, I think it's growing.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of young girls are getting into it.
It feels like at one time there was only a couple teams every year that could win the region. But this year, girls, the region's just loaded with talent and a lot of different college potential players playing at this level and making it for a fun season.
Yep, definitely.
There's a bunch of talent on every team. I think it's going to be a good postseason this year.
Got a big district matchup coming up. I guess you would have played it by now. What are you looking forward to when you go to the district matchups?
Just playing as a team and before postseason, just getting an idea of, what they have and what we need to do to get better for the postseason to be able to get the district title.
We just need to make sure everything clicks when we do these district games to prove to everybody that we can win the district.
Both of you are going to play at the next level at whichever sport you choose. Maybe talk about somebody that's influenced your game, somebody that you watched earlier in life and you thought, man, I'd like to play like them.
Yeah, definitely. In softball, my sister, she's gone on to play D1 softball, and she played at JUCO before that, and she's just been my biggest inspiration just as an athlete and a person all the way around. I think the biggest thing is just like being a good teammate and focusing on that, but, just getting better day by day.
I'll have to say my sister, too, she got me into the sport of volleyball at a young age. I always wanted to be like her, but she's a little bit shorter than me, so she was a libero. But she got me into it. I mean, it's made me who I am today. I watched a bunch of college, like Leah Edmond and all them people from Kentucky, so they've influenced me, and I just hope to play at the next level.
I think Kentucky having so much success really brought a lot more to the game of volleyball, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I think so many young girls watch it all the time. Like, if there's a game or on the bus, I'm watching it. I'm just seeing what I can pick up and see what they've got going on.
Oh, yeah, you definitely learn something new with every game.
What positions y'all play?
I'm a libero.
I'm an outside.
So you're the one that gets all the action. I learned that last week.
Yeah.
And wears a different uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless y'all's heart.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I felt sorry for you. I thought, why didn't they get a uniform? Then I come to find out it's an honor to get to be the oddball in the bunch.
Oh,
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand. They're like, why do you have a different jersey on?
Girls, tell us who you want to play the most the rest of the season. What's the one game or games couple that you're looking the most forward to?
I'm looking forward to Leslie, Hazard. We played not, but they had some injuries, and hopefully they can get back. And
Yeah, I think I'm excited to play Breathed again.
oh yeah, we need to play
It's
Breathed
al-
again.
It's always a good game with them. Usually it always goes to 5 sets, so I just want to. They got us last time, so I'm ready to get back after.
And let's say that we're in practicing our game, we're not playing really good. And Coach is fired up. She's hot. Who's the player on the team that's going to crack the joke?
Crack the joke.
I would say Lila.
I would say Lila Sullivan, our setter.
Yeah,
She cracks the joke.
yeah, she always has fun.
She breaks the ice when everybody's heated or something like that.
Yeah.
So you played there how many years?
Oh gosh, since 8th grade, so 5. This makes 5.
I played at Perry since my freshman year.
So what's been your most enjoyable memory up to this point?
I think just watching us grow. I mean, me and her, we've played volleyball together since we was in 7th, 8th grade, and we've grown as players. We've got taller, stronger, all that good stuff, but we've grown as people. Like, we've grown together, and I love that. And our team's grown. Perry's grown. We've gotten a lot better at the sport, I think. I think we got better communication-wise. We got athletes on athletes. I think that.
Yeah. I feel like every year we've kind of, every year you have those seniors that leave, and you just have to come back a whole new team and just, like, re-get the groove with the new girls in different positions. And I think just, like, playing as a team with different people on the court that might not have played the position before, just, like, playing as a team.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, talking about being a senior. Every year before, when you're not the senior, you've always seemed like somebody to fall back onto. Being your senior year, what's the legacy you want to leave with the younger girls for next year's team?
Yeah, I think the most important thing to me is just when you leave, like, you're seen as the kind of teammate you are, you're either somebody people want to be around or somebody that people are like, I'm glad she's gone. I just want to be that person that everybody can look back on and say good things.
I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
I do agree. I want people to look back and be like, we miss her here. We wish she was still here, but.
Yeah, and just that she gave everything she had to
Yeah.
the sport, even if she wasn't having a good day, just.
Bad game or not,
yeah.
she was always there for everybody else, picking people up.
Hustling.
You guys are getting ready to pack your bags and head to the big invitational down in Knoxville. And, of course, there'll be some shopping to be done.
Oh, yeah, definitely some shopping, some eating.
Who leaves Knoxville with the most bags?
Yeah, you're looking
Probably
at
me.
it.
It's going to be me.
Yeah.
It's going to be me.
Yep, she's a shopper.
Who's the one you worry about making sure gets on the bus?
Alyssa, right here. She's late to everything.
Late?
Yeah.
Would be late.
Late. She's late.
Yeah.
Well, who's the one when it's a late night trip and everybody's trying to go to bed? Who's the one that you have to stand up and go, for the love of God, will you just shut up and let us get some sleep?
I think it depends on who's together.
Yeah.
Like, certain people together, they can just talk all day long. I would say Jazz.
I would say Jazz. I would say Lila, too.
Lila, too, yeah.
I would say Shy.
Shy, too, yeah. She's a chatter.
Favorite subjects at Prairie Central that you like classroom-wise?
We're in the biomedical pathway. We enjoy that a lot. It's doing, like, nursing and that pathway like that.
Yeah, I enjoy our English department, too.
Yeah.
I think Teresa Cotto does a really good job.
So what
That's
do
who we have right now.
So what do you want to do when it's all said and done?
I want to go in the medical field, be a PA or a physical therapist, something like that.
I'm still unsure on what I want to do. I'm wanting to get into job shadowing next summer. That way I know what I want to do before going into college.
If somebody out there is listening and they're like, I might want to play volleyball, what's one piece of advice you'd give them?
It's a mental game. You gotta be strong in the head. I mean, it's a game of mistakes. Like, you can't prevent them. It's gonna happen. That's the whole point of the game. You just gotta stay strong mentally, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah, volleyball, it's just games go by so fast just because you're always looking at the next point. If you just focus on the bad, then you'll never.
Do good.
Yeah, you have to just pick up next point, learn from it, grow from it.
It's a
Fix
high-speed
it the
game.
next.
There's no time to worry about what happened
No,
play
yeah.
before. You gotta forget it and
You just gotta fix it the next
start with the next serve.
Yep.
So over your career to this point, if you had to pick one game or memory that's been your favorite of playing volleyball for Prairie Central, what would that be?
I don't know. Winning district last year against Hazard, that was a really good game. We played as a team really well. I mean, every time we play Breathitt, it goes 5 sets. It's a heated game.
Yeah.
It's a game of.
I love playing that.
I love playing Breathitt. I mean, everyone gets hype. I mean, people smacking the floor, screaming, block. I mean, it's a great game. It's a great atmosphere.
Jamie does that right now during games. When me and him broadcast games, he gets fired up. He starts slapping the counters and
Oh, yeah,
fired
when
up.
people get a good
When
hit, it's
people
hard
get a
not
good-
to.
It's hard not to celebrate.
That's right,
it's
man.
hard.
You got to
I
put
have-
emotion to
I have to
Yeah.
call a timeout. Like, we're in the middle of a game. I'm like, we're going to take a 30-second break.
Yeah, it gets intense. I love when we have a good rally. I just
Oh,
like-
yeah.
Yeah.
Why should people come out and watch Prairie Central volleyball?
I mean, we're a good group of girls. I mean, I'm biased saying that, but I mean, we're fun to watch. We got energy. We got talent. I mean,
We just never give up. I
Yeah.
think. A lot of teams, it's easy to just watch them get down after things go bad, but we always put our best foot forward no matter the outcome.
we've got people picking each other up constantly. I mean,
Hustle.
everybody wants to be on that floor.
Yeah, you see everybody diving on the floor every play.
Yeah.
Every play. Yeah.
Both of you is multi-sport athletes. Okay. Does volleyball take a different mindset than any other sport?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What would you say is the biggest difference in a mindset going to a volleyball game? And both of you play softball, and I coach softball. So let's just refer to that. What would be the biggest difference in a mindset between a volleyball game and a softball game?
I just think the speed of the game, like softball, you know, you maybe get 2-3 at bats. You have time to think about it, what you did wrong, like how to fix it. In volleyball, it's like boom, like you have to fix it right then, right there. You have to know what you did wrong. It's kind of like a self-taught thing. You just have to be able to figure out what you did wrong, figure out what you need to do better for the next play, and then execute it the next one.
I feel like with softball, you know whether a hitter's going to pull it or, you know, something like that. But with volleyball, you don't know what they're going to do. They could tip, they could push, hit. Like, it's just so much thinking that you got to do in volleyball. Like, you can't stop thinking. It's a constant.
Yeah.
It's a constant mind game. It's like your body's in it, but your mind's in it.
Yeah, you have to
Same time.
react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girls, take this time to thank some people that's made this possible up to this point.
I just want to thank, most importantly, my dad. He was a college athlete, and he's, you know, late nights, whether it's in the volleyball court or just running, speed drills, you know, or lifting or throwing to me after football practice, you know, he's just always there to help me get better and help me be the player and person that I want to be, and my sister as well.
Yeah, my sister and my mom have made me realize what it is to be a good person, and my sister pushed me into the sport, so I mean, I do it all for, obviously I do it for me, but I do it to make her proud, and I've got real good coaches. I got some down in London with travel and all that stuff, but my family and them are who I'm going to thank.
Yeah.
I know one thing. They could both coach, and tomorrow we'd hire them to do this microphone stuff. They're excellent at speaking.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. You know, he was like, "Oh, I'm nervous. We can't." And I'm like, "I told you by the time we got done, they'd be professionals."
They were before we started.
Me and
Oh,
you
we
might-
love to talk.
We love to talk all
Me and
day.
you might as well take these mics off and go next door where Dion's to get a pop.
We really appreciate y'all coming over.
Thank you all
And
for
wish you the
having us.
best of luck. And we hope we're going to soon get to broadcast some of your all's games, and we'll be cheering you on.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for
Sounds
joining us,
good.
girls, and we'll be back with the coach for the Commodores.
This is Mountain Sports Corner with Jamie and James.
And now we're joined with Prairie Central's head coach, Jess Spurlock. Jess, second year at the head of Prairie Central. How's it going over there?
It's going great. The girls have been working hard, putting in a lot of work, getting ready for the games.
Seems like this sport slips up on us. School starts, and you're probably already ready to play before the classrooms start. And that's got to be a little different, I would imagine, as a coach.
Yeah, it makes things a little difficult getting in the swing of going back to school and playing every night. It's tiring.
Then you guys play a lot of games too. What, 7 or 8 games already? I would imagine you've played now. So
Yeah.
that's pretty neat.
The popularity of volleyball seems like it's exploded the last couple of years. If you had to try to guess what that would be because of, what would you say the reason the sport's exploded the way it has?
I think a lot of it in our state is UK and Louisville
Yeah.
because the girls
Yeah.
love them. They love watching them.
And then it's an Olympic sport that the girls can play too. I think brings
Absolutely.
a lot to it.
Coach, we're heading down to Tennessee this upcoming weekend. What are you expecting to learn from your girls this weekend?
Well, we always learn a lot when we go out of the state and play. It's just a different game. It's more high pace. We get a lot more, I guess, experience playing somebody out of state. We see more competition outside of our area.
It's also a good opportunity, I know, for the kids to get a bond and get closer to each other as a team too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's good experience for them to get together and click.
Coach, we've had a couple of your players in here. What does the senior leadership mean on your all's team?
Well, we have 6 seniors this year, and each senior brings something new to the table. We've got, one middle that's a senior. We've got a DS that's a senior. We've got an outside that's a senior. So we've got a lot.
What do you say to a mom and dad who has a kid 6, 7-year-old, a little athletic, and starting to think about playing the game? What advice would you give to those folks?
Start them early. Absolutely.
And what should they be doing at that level, you think?
I think learning every position, not getting stuck in one position that early, trying out everything. I know when I used to coach at RW, I liked each girl to learn each position. That way you're not stuck just hitting or just a DS or...
Yeah, if you have a growth spurt and may need to play a different position or
Absolutely.
something.
You might want to hit later on.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up coaching at RW, you know, because the high school program really excels, or I won't say fails, but a lot of the high schools excel, succeed, and don't have as much success because of the middle school program. What's it mean to the middle school coaches that you've got in Prairie County?
We've got a good group. We've been trying to grow our middle school programs the past few years. East Perry, West Perry, they've grown tremendously the past few years. They were definitely the top programs in our county this past year, and East ended up winning, I think, the 7th and 8th grade championship. So they had a great group too.
Did you play prior to coaching?
No.
So just,
I got into it when my daughter started playing.
well, that's neat.
Yeah.
And then we talked to Coach Cornett the other day, and, you know, she made mention, she said there's so many different ways you can pull things as a coach, from videos that are out there, from other coaches, from
Yeah.
clinics. A lot of things out there now to help you coaches.
I learned a lot. My daughter played clubs. She did private lessons. And I literally would take a notebook and take notes 24/7. YouTube. I mean, starting out, it was tough. And then I had other coaches that helped me as well.
You know, I ask the girls, when it's time, of course, senior leadership, you know, as a coach, you can't coach all the time. Who's the one or two players that seems like they always take control of the ball club instead of you having to do it?
Alyssa and Taylon take control a lot. And I think it's where they played multiple sports. They're so competitive, and there are 2 team captains this year as well. And they've done really well with our younger girls, picking them up. You know, you can't think about that last point. You got to think about the next point. And they're really good about picking those younger girls up.
Early on, I've noticed your schedule's tough, Coach. I assume you done that because you knew you had a senior team and kind of wanted to find out what you had early, right?
Yes. I wanted to test the waters, see what we had. And I like to start out a little harder and see what we need to work on versus starting easier.
If you had to pick 3 goals, you know, we're almost halfway through the season. If you had to pick 3 goals that you want to succeed or see happen before the end of the season, what would those goals be?
I want my seniors to succeed more than anything. I want them to have a great senior year. I want all my girls to have a great year, actually. I want to win district, and I want to go into region. I don't want to lose first game of region this year. I want to play into region.
Advance further in.
Yes.
Yeah. And
yes.
district, we're thinking Buckhorn would host that, right?
I think so, yeah.
What about region? Do you know who hosts the region?
I don't.
Yeah, I know one thing. It's going to be a fun region.
Yes. Our region is packed full of talent this year.
I made mention, I feel like 6 teams probably going to be, you know, a favorite to be potential winners of that. Coach, I know you can't do this without a lot of good help, and from the administration down to the assistant coaches and then all the parents that help you guys. It takes a village to make these teams run.
It does. We really have the best administration. They're really supportive of us, from our principals to our superintendent. Our athletic director's great. We just have so much support. I have a lot of support from home. My daughter, my husband, Oakley, my mother-in-law. Like, we just have a lot of support.
Coach, give a few minutes there and tell people why they need to come watch volleyball, you know, at Prairie Central or any school that's in the area that they're from. Why should people get out and support these young ladies?
These girls have so much grit. I mean, they really, truly, like Taylor and Alyssa said, they're constantly diving on the floor. I mean, they will do whatever to keep that ball in play. And it's just exciting to watch. It's fast-paced. It's constantly going. There's no dead time, you know.
What would you think is the biggest misconception about the game of volleyball?
That it's just a girl's sport.
I agree with that totally.
Yeah.
Then I have to admit, before I went, I kind of thought, well, that's a over the net, slow pace.
Oh, yeah.
But if you get to a game late, you may miss it. Some of them go quick.
Some of them, yeah, most definitely.
You know, me and Jamie went and did a game, I guess 2 years ago. We're now 3. And we did more ooh and ahs than we did anything because we was expecting a slow-paced game, and neither one of us knew much about it. And before it was over with, them years right, there was skin left on the court.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had a girl the other day that her knee was bleeding, and we had to stop and patch her up.
I challenge the people too. The more you learn about the sport, the more you enjoy it.
Oh,
There's just so
absolutely.
much to it
Yeah.
as far as setting and assist, and it's a fun game. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun watching them when they're young and then advanced up to see what they can do. It's really exciting.
Coach, if you could look back over the last 2 years that you've coached, what would you say has been your number one learning curve that you've had to come up with?
I guess filling those roles. Like the girl said, each year you lose those seniors. And so as soon as that senior class graduates, we start thinking, okay, now what are we going to do in this position? What are we going to do? I think that's my biggest.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I coached for years, and people don't see that part. They think when the season's over, with the players, for 90% of the players, when the season's over, it's over.
No.
But for a coach, you get maybe one day off, and then you go right back into the plannings, ordering new uniforms, trying to figure out what you're looking. Yeah, fundraising.
Fundraising never stops.
It's year round, yeah.
And no, I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, that's a good point. That it just every year it just keeps rolling over.
Mm-hmm.
And Coach, I know right now the girls are super excited to be leaving. You guys leave tomorrow for Knoxville, Tennessee, but with that in mind, I know you also are beginning to think about the district and the regional.
Mm-hmm.
You want to finish strong, and how do you balance all that out?
Well, it's a little sloppy at times, but we try our best. Just keeping the girls focused mainly, keeping them in the game, keeping them focused and thinking about the next game versus the last game.
Coach, as it looks like you're split out pretty even amongst the 13th or the 15th and the 14th region. The 15th, we talked to Knott last week. They really enjoy playing teams in the 15th region.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a reason that so many coaches try to go to the 15th to play?
I just like to try to go where there's good competition and evenly matched.
I feel like maybe they've been putting more emphasis on it a little longer than what
I
we have in the
agree.
14th.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're a little more, but we're playing with them now and coming up with some W's, and I like that, man. James, as we continue to see this thing unfold, we look forward to a lot of matchups. Of course, the ladies talked about Purry and Breathitt. Purry, Hazard's fun at anything.
Yeah.
And I can see some more good games on their schedule.
Yeah, I can too, Coach. We'll take it as we get ready to wrap this thing up. Anybody give some shout-outs to the administration or anybody that you want to give some shout-outs to that helps with your program that doesn't get mentioned a whole lot?
My assistant coaches. My assistant coaches put in so much, and they're not recognized enough. They work just as hard as everybody else.
Well, we sure do appreciate you coming in, Coach. I know it's a busy time, but we're trying our best to build a program here. The best James and I can do. I don't know who's the coach. I think,
Josh.
yeah.
Josh is the coach.
But-
he's the guy that comes out of the closet, calls the timeout, and goes, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa."
But with that said, though, we really do appreciate you coming on, and we'll look forward to following you guys the rest of this season and hopefully in the postseason.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a good night. And if we can do anything at all this season, let us know. We'll help best we can.
He's waving now at the camera. He's going to make sure everybody sees him. Thank you all again, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
you.
This is Mountain Sports Corner with Jamie and James.
Welcome back to the Mountain Sports Corner. James Sandlin and myself, Jamie Hughes here, now being joined with a couple of gentlemen from Hazard High School on the eve of the All-A Golf Tournament, Mr. Tate Davis and Eli Johnson. And gentlemen, thanks for coming by and talking to us.
Yes, sir.
Getting ready to play the All-A, and what's going through your mind right now?
Well, we've been working really hard, and this is kind of what we've been building up to, and I'm just really excited to finally let all that work do the talking, really. I mean, we've been busting it every day, and just every day after school, weekends, all throughout the summer, we've been putting in everything we got, and I'm just excited to finally put it all out there, really.
Yeah, I'm really excited to show our competitive level at that, top tier with them teams. Like you said, we've been working start of the summer, early summer, and every day, and just really excited to.
James, this guy's got more rings than he's got fingers, man. Back-to-back All-A champions, looking to make it 3 in a row. if you had his game, me and you, we probably wouldn't be sitting here.
If I had his game, Walmart would have to close because when I go golfing, they know that they're selling more balls, more tees. There's all kinds of stuff when I go golfing. What's your favorite thing about golfing, guys?
I like the mental test. It's just really, it can humble you. You can shoot 4 under one day and then come out the next day shoot 10 over, and it's just having to come back from that and just letting it humble you. You gotta fight every day, because not every day is gonna be easy. And our coaches there really help us out, really keep us in the right frame of mind, and they help us out there if we're losing it, and they help to calm us down. And it's really fun, I think, when you're playing good, and you got to try and make it fun when you're playing bad.
I really like the relationships that you build throughout playing golf. Some of the people that I play with, we add each other on social media and talk, years after. And especially the longevity of playing golf. I'm sure that's a pretty common answer. You can play it till you're 90 years old, and I just think it's a great game. And I never thought that I'd really get into it as much as I did. My dad was always into it, and that's the one that got me into it. And I'm very thankful for it.
Golf is, I call it I'm glad you said it. I've called it a one-shot sport.
Mm-hmm.
If you start the day off good, it seems like you'll play good all day.
Correct.
If you're playing horrible, and let's say on the 17th hole, you hit the prettiest 9-iron you've ever seen in your life, you jumping up and down like you've had the best day ever. You're ready to go back, and the rest of the day was horrible. Why is that, you think? Just the mental edge of it?
Yeah. I mean, you hit a good shot. You've been working all day for it. Finally pays off. Get excited about it.
Maybe talk about your favorite courses and why.
I love Stonecrest over there in Bristonsburg. It's just, I think it's in the best shape around here. I think it's one of the prettiest courses. I love the mountains and just the challenge it brings. It asks a lot out of you, and I just appreciate the way it's made. And I really like this course we're going to here too, because it's also a challenge. I'm more of a challenge guy when it comes to these courses, and I really appreciate them.
I was going to say Gibson Bay. I love that course. We played it twice this season. Played it 2 times last year, and I've played it by myself a couple times. I really like it. It's, like you said, it's a good challenge. The greens, they're always good. Fairways always good. Tee box is always good. And barring conditions, it's really fun to play.
What's your strength in the game, and then what's something on the flip side of that you'd like to improve on a little bit more?
I think my strength is my attitude. I don't let anything really affect me. I'm very humble on the course, and I use that in every part of my game. My weakness would probably be just keep on hitting good shots. I can't hit a bad shot and then continue it, follow it up. So I guess my strength is just continuing my game.
Sure.
My strength is my driver and also my attitude. Me and him keep it pretty cool. I mean, I think me and him, you can't really tell if we're playing bad or playing good, because we keep it there all throughout the round. And that's another big thing in golf. You can't get too high when you're doing good, and you can't get too low when you're playing bad, because all it takes is that one shot to get everything back. But my weakness, I would say my wedges lately. I've been getting it out there, but then sometimes I'll get it close, and sometimes I'm not very satisfied. But I just gotta get that tuned in, and I think if I can do that, I think we'll.
One club out of the bag is all you're allowed to use to play 9. Which one would it be?
Pretty common answer. I have to go with probably 7-iron.
I'm gonna take an 8, just because he said 7, so I'm gonna say 8.
When you go out there and play, is there anybody that you try to pattern your game after? Like Tiger Woods. Is there anybody that you look up to and like that's who I want to be like?
Well, I try to emulate Cameron Young's swing, I guess you could say. But, I mean, everything about, the big guys, Tiger and Scotty and Jack Nicklaus. I mean, all those guys, great role models. But swing-wise, definitely Cameron Young. Love his swing.
I've always liked Colin Morikawa. I really appreciate his tempo and the way he looks at the game, and just watching him, listening to his interviews and all that just really taught me a lot.
What do you say to the 9 and 10-year-old kid that's wanting to play? He's flipped through, and just for whatever reason, he's become attracted to the game, watching it on TV, YouTube videos.
Trust the process. I'd say nobody's going to go out there their first time playing and shoot even par. Just got to keep on working at it, and that's the joy of the game. Get better every time.
Yeah, just stay humble and stay persistent and just get out there every day. I mean, anytime you can, every day you can, just take every opportunity, and as days go by, you'll get better each and every day.
How many guys are on the team?
There is
9.
Yeah.
8 guys, 1
eight,
girl.
8, and
8,
then
yeah.
a girl.
So when you all go to these tournaments, like when you won the All-A and you're going to the state tournament this upcoming weekend, how does the scoring go? Is it individual, and then they add all the team members up? How do you get to be the champion?
So you bring 5 players, and you take the top 4 scores if you have 4 players, and that would be a team. But say your team doesn't win the whole thing, but a guy on your team is an individual winner, then he can qualify as an individual.
But the team, you would add your scores together and get the
Whole 4 scores.
total of the 4.
Yes.
So there's 7 guys. Is that what you just said? So there's 7 guys on your team?
We've got
8 guys.
8 guys.
So all 8 guys don't get to compete in the state tournament?
No. It's we got our
5.
top 5 here, yeah, and
So is that based upon the region, All-A? The 5 that gets to go? How do you
It's
get
really
who
just
the
based
5 gets to
on,
go? Who's hot?
Yeah,
I guess you could
it's
say that, yeah.
skill and age, really. I mean, mental is really, it's really the toughest part of the game, the mental part. And I think as age, your mental aspect increases. And I think just for me and Tate, our goal is to kind of be role models for those guys that don't get to be here, and just show them kind of what it takes to get to where we're at, and kind of pass on the torch as we leave, and wish them nothing but success.
To step away from the game just a second, what's your favorite part of Hazard High School?
Just the people. We've got wonderful people, wonderful teachers, and I feel like it's just it's an amazing place to learn, amazing place to find people that you can have as a part of your life for the rest of it. And I appreciate all of my teachers, and I don't really know where I'd be here today if I didn't have those people and connections that I have at Hazard.
The support at Hazard is incredible. We're a small town, and everybody knows everybody, but everybody supports everybody. And, if one person's down, we're all down. If one person's up, we're all up. Everybody's with everybody.
Guys, take this opportunity and give some shout-outs to
Sure.
people that don't normally give the shout-outs to.
I'm going to give a shout-out to my math teacher, Miss Kroll. She's been a wonderful person in my life, and she brings joy to me every day. And my dad out there, he works for the school systems. He's a big supporter of my life too, and I just really appreciate him.
I appreciate all my family, Kathy Patrick, principal, love her, and just everybody who's the sponsors, Mr. Jack Duff, and yeah, all the sponsors.
And I know one thing. They've got a career in this if they wanted to, man. They've done an excellent job. And, fellas, we appreciate you taking time coming over and talking to us. And we wish you the best of luck, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck this weekend, guys. We'll bring in a couple more here in just a second.
This is Mountain Sports Corner with Jamie and James.
Welcome back to the Mountain Sports Corner. James Sallin and myself, Jamie Hughes here, and now being joined with Waylon Klutz and Caden Williams. And, gentlemen, thanks for coming by and talking to us tonight.
Yep. Yeah, you're welcome.
Getting ready, of course, to play in that All-A, and I know everybody's pretty pumped up and excited about that. What's going through your mind right now as we move closer to this next chapter of the season?
Not much, just trying to get prepared, practice as much as we can, get the swing dialed.
Yeah, about the same. Just wanted to shoot good in state.
both of you been playing, even though you're younger players, been playing a while from what I gather.
Yes.
Yeah.
What drew you to this sport?
Not much. Just when I was in diapers, my dad just pretty much he just gave me the club, and I have a picture, and I was like in a diaper, and I had a golf club in the toilet trying to wash it. So,
How
pretty
about
long
you,
time.
man?
My dad and Papa used to play a lot.
The cool thing about this sport is not everybody can go out in the yard and catch a football with their folks or shoot free throws with their grandfather, but there's chances you can play golf with your granddad. It's pretty neat about it.
yeah, one thing about golf is you can play it your whole life.
Sure.
Like football, you can't play it your whole life. I mean, you're 80 years old, you can play golf.
Right. Yeah, we see people constantly playing 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of the game?
Probably the competition and just the challenge that it gives. Gives a really huge challenge.
My favorite part is hitting my driver. Because I don't hit it good every time, but when I do it, it's pretty good.
What's your favorite club in the bag?
7-iron.
7-iron. What about you?
Probably 8-iron. Or 9-iron because it's in the middle of a pitching wedge and 8-iron, and I usually practice the most with them.
Either one of you ever hit a hole in one?
No.
No.
I've been close, though.
What's a close?
Like an inch or two.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even kidding. Probably a centimeter.
Really?
It's unreal.
What's the favorite course you played?
I've played so many courses. In Kentucky,
Anywhere.
No, just period.
What's your
Anywhere.
favorite course you've ever played?
probably Golden Bear in Orlando, Florida. It's a really nice course.
My favorite's probably Stonecrest.
A lot of people like that. Guys, it's pretty neat that we've got courses here in our backyard, too, that, we can take pride in playing on. And you guys, of course, get a chance to play right there at Hazard a lot. And that helps your game, right? The more you can play, the better, I would
Yeah,
imagine,
exactly.
certainly, as it is with any sport.
Exactly right.
What's it mean getting to play? It's repeat, right? We're the second. This is two-time
Back
All
to
A
back.
champions, right?
Yes, sir.
What's it mean getting to be on that team back to back?
It really means a lot. It makes a lot of memories with us and our friends, especially our coaches.
Yeah, it feels really good to be able to win back to back, and just hopefully we can do it 3 years in a row.
You guys have any things you do before you play that kind of get you focused and level-headed and ready to play? A pregame meal, maybe some music, something that you do to get you ready?
I usually talk to my dad.
Sure.
Yeah, he just gives me a little rundown of what I need to think and just not
Reminders.
put too much pressure on myself.
I usually just take a pregame poop, and it feels really good. Helps me do good.
Hey, listen.
I like it, man.
Man's honest.
You're kidding.
Listen, what do you eat, man, to lead up to that?
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. McDonald's will do it every time.
What's one piece of advice that you would give somebody that's looking at starting in this game?
Practice makes progression, not perfection, because you can never be perfect at this game.
Let me ask you a question straight to you. Your brother's got UK playing now.
Yes, sir.
Does he ever call and try to give you some advice, or you ever call him and ask him some advice if the game's going? If you've not had a really good day,
Yeah, it goes both ways. He calls me and I call him. We usually talk about our rounds that we have and everything we need to do the next time. So we're really beneficial for each other.
I've learned with this game there's a lot of highs and lows. You'll be playing good and then something goes wrong for whatever reason, and you get one of those lows. How do you get out of that? Right in the middle of the course, how do you snap out of that?
I just usually try to slow everything down and just concentrate more on each shot.
How about you, brother? What advice would you give to somebody that wants to sling that club over in the pond?
Just pretty
Don't.
much.
First of all, don't.
Don't do that. Because just focus on the next shot because golf gives and takes pretty much.
You have a professional that you like to or enjoy watching play the most?
I really like Scotty Scheffler. He might not have the prettiest swing ever, but he really is. He strikes the ball out of the best out of anybody that's ever played the game, I think.
the man can play.
He really can.
And my favorite's probably watch Bryson DeChambeau because he breaks everything down and just concentrates on everything.
Let me ask you a question. Golf's a different game than like football or baseball or any other sport. Let's say that you've just hit a ball bad, okay? In golf, can you take a timeout? I mean, can you look and there's obviously you've got the coaches. Can you stop mid-play and go and talk to a coach or have a coach come out and try to get advice off of them? Or is it once you start, you've got to finish the round?
Yeah, I mean, a coach can come to you if they're nearby and talk to you. But me personally, I usually say we get them next time.
That's the best way to be.
Yeah. Not put too much pressure on yourself.
What do you do outside of the game of golf? Tell us a little more about you guys as far as the things you enjoy and things that maybe people don't know about you.
I'm really not sure. That's all I do, honestly.
When I hear your name, I always associate it with golf, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How about you, brother?
I play baseball a lot, and I just play basketball every now and then. Play a lot of Fortnite too.
Let me ask the same question I asked the guys outside of this game. What's your favorite part of being part of Hazard High School?
Probably the family of Hazard. Everybody's really supportive, and a good school, a good community. We're trying to help each other as much as we can.
It's a really small school, and you be able to know everybody on just about.
What's the best advice before you go in that coaches usually try to give you?
Be patient. My coach, Scott, always tells me to be patient. That meaning if you hit a bad shot or have a bad hole, there's always going to be another hole that you can make it up for, and it's going to come.
Scott always tells me there's going to be adversity, and just you got to, push through it.
Well, fellas, you both have done a great job with these interviews, and we hope you've had fun. Before we go, encourage everybody to get out and support you, and then also give some shout-outs out to some people. Okay?
You got it.
I just want to shout out to my dad, my grandparents, my brothers, just anybody that helps support me, mainly my coaches especially, my friends.
I'd like to shout out my family, God, and just all coaches and friends that have helped me through everything.
Yep, our Lord and Savior.
Man, I like it when you guys do that. And we appreciate you taking time to come in and talk to us and keep us updated on how things go, okay? Send us
Yes,
some
sir.
pictures and results.
All right, will do, brother.
Remember us both when you're in the big time, okay?
Okay.
When they come up and ask you for an interview, you can say, James and Jamie already got one, so
Yeah.
sure, I'll talk to
They
you.
got the first one.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, good luck this weekend.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
This is Mountain Sports Corner with Jamie and James.
And now we're joined with the coaches of the Hazard Golf Club. Fellas, introduce yourselves.
Patton Couch.
I'm Scott Miller.
Man, these guys know what to do. I mean, they just told us it's their second year coaching, second All-A region title. I mean, guys, let's just, there's an old saying in golf, if you play bad your first game, you get invited back. I always get invited back.
Well, our kids have put in a lot of work, and when you do that, it's always good to see them reap the results, for their hard work, and that's what we're seeing.
Talk a little bit about the team. You don't have to name certain players, but just a little bit about your team altogether.
We got lucky with a good group.
Yeah.
When we started, and we knew some of the boys before our last season, and they're young boys, but they work hard, and we have a good time.
Yeah, we were talking last year that, last year we had a junior, a sophomore, and the rest were 8th graders. And now we have a junior, a senior, and 7
Bunch of
freshmen in that area. Plus we have one girl, Riley Griffith. She's also a freshman. So we said we would be happy that, we started where we did, and the kids have really listened, and they're starting to blossom.
Coach, I talked to Not Central's head coach, and he said one of the challenges with coaching is you can't be everywhere at once. So when we play these tournaments and so forth, you want to give a little bit of your time to each player, but how do you, I guess, just go with one you think maybe needs your help more that day, or how you determine that?
Well, that's a good question. Luckily, there's three of us. There's Pat and I, and we also have Nathan Johnson, who's a major role in our golf program. And so it typically works out where each of us are with a couple guys, then one guy, then somebody will come back to the other guy. But we always, it's not even talked about before it, but we just know where we're going to go. So we went around every player.
You know, I asked a couple of the players a few minutes ago, if you see one of them struggling, golf's a different sport, unlike baseball and basketball. You can't call a timeout. How do you get to go down there and have a conversation with them before they get the next shot? If you see their mind start drifting or they've hit a couple bad shots in a row, what starts going through your mind as a coach that you need to go down there and fix or tell them?
It's all about the next shot.
Right.
We say once you hit that ball, there's nothing you can do about it. Stay positive in your mindset, have positive body language, positive thoughts, and let's go through the process to execute the next shot, because there's nothing we can do about it. Just try to make the lowest score we can on each and every hole.
Right. And the good thing is we can get out there and walk the fairways with them. And so there's, they carry their bags when they play. And so we have time, to walk with them and talk. And, usually we can get them to calm down.
What's the most common question that you're asked during a golf tournament by your players?
Well, that's a good one.
What do I do?
Yeah.
I ask that daily. I ask that almost in every situation. But,
what do I do?
But you taught me you've got you've got a junior and a senior and freshman. Are there questions on the golf course about the same?
Each of them have their own personality and strengths to their game, their weaknesses to the game. And I think what we try to do is let's focus on our strength about, good positive body language, good frame of mind, staying in that. And I think each of them you have to handle different.
You do.
Yes. And some of them, need a little bit more, come on, let's go. And some of them, come on, let's go.
Right.
There's nothing we can do about that.
When the kids are, for whatever reason, in a slump, there's highs and lows in this game. How do you challenge a kid to get that out of their mind?
As coaches, one thing I've noticed is we're encouragers and almost cheerleaders in a way, and we're their biggest support. And they know that we believe in them, and they know that the work that we've done in practice, and we've seen them play good golf, and they know what they're capable of. So it's just reminding them of that. And
the one thing, too, about this sport, Scott, is you got to be 6'8", 6'10" to have a shot to play in professional basketball. You got to have a certain amount of speed, perhaps, to play baseball or football. But there's a great chance that every kid you have can play at the next level in golf, and there's also nothing that says some of these kids can't play at the professional ranks. And that's one of the things I love about it, right?
Exactly. I've said this several times. Anybody that starts golf for the first time, we all started in the same space.
Right.
We've never hit a ball, and we haven't played golf, so we're all starting at the same. So how you progress and how you get better is determined by your work ethic, your commitment, and your discipline. And that's what we try to install in our players.
All right, let me ask you this. We go down to the state tournament this weekend, and if there's a tie, how is that broken? Let's say that there's a team tie. Is there a playoff that you just get to pick one player, or do you have to pick the 5 players to have a one whole playoff? How would that go about if there's a tie at the end of the day?
Your 5th player, is that right? I'm looking at Nathan.
Oh, sure, it's okay.
It's your 5th player, the low score of the 5th player would determine that.
What if it's a tie?
That's a good question. I don't know that I know the answer to that.
Yeah, even if that 5th player still made it tie, is that what
Yeah.
All right.
Get
Yeah.
2 players to go play.
Okay.
Yeah, so I learned
That is a
something.
good. That's a
Didn't
good
they take
question.
low score of the 2 or just combine them?
They just keep playing the same hole over and over.
In our
Good deal.
time, we've never even seen that.
No.
Guys, you're blessed to be able to coach the game in a place that's got good facilities and a lot of people backing it, as opposed to some of these other guys are coaching in schools in which they got to get in the bus and travel just to get a practice. And I know that's a plus too, right?
Oh, that's big. You know, we may not have the nicest facility, you know, but we have a facility.
Yeah.
Right.
And there have been many, many really good golfers come through Hazard Country Club. And our membership is very supporting and, you know, lets us use that course just to have that ability to go, okay, we want to go play. We can drive 5 minutes and go play is invaluable.
Invaluable.
You know, did you say it earlier? The players have got to pack their own bags so they don't get to drive a cart.
No.
But no, this leads up to my second question over that is in your all's preseason or going through the season, do you all have a conditioning program? Because, you know, golf is a really mental game that will wear you out. But if it's 90 degrees and you've got to pack your bags for 18 holes, does conditioning as well play into that?
Yes.
So, and we're mindful of that during our practice. I think we kind of balance it out because we don't want to wear them out, but we also want them to be able to walk 18 holes. And so, especially with this heat that we've been having, we adjust practices accordingly. But this season, and I think we're going to start it from now on, which is to do some preseason conditioning, like getting out there and playing a little bit earlier and things like that.
Like most sports, our kids will play multiple sports.
Yeah,
So having that dedicated time just for golf, where they've moved it from the spring into the fall, then you got basketball, you've got football, then you got baseball coming, and to integrate, it's been a little tough. But we've worked hard this summer, asking them to carry their bags in the heat for that reason. And I think we've seen this year that we've had a better. Golf is mental. It will wear you out, like James said. So can we be mentally strong all the way through 18 holes? And I think that's part of what we do every day, having practice every day, because our teams around us in our conference simply don't do that. And I think that gives us a definite advantage.
We've talked to coaches that are lucky to practice once a week, and we can practice almost daily.
As I draw you back into this mic, Coach, let's take your coaching hat off just for a second and talk about the dad part. Your girls are having a remarkable volleyball season, and that leads me to my question. How do you juggle all of this stuff, fellas? You coaches, I admire the fact that some of you guys are able just to pull off all the things you pull off, but let's talk about that.
Well, thank you for asking, and I'm very proud of Ellie and Zoe. They're having a tremendous year. It is a challenge, but luckily with Patton and Nathan, you know, if I need to be at a certain place to watch them play volleyball, everybody's understanding. We just communicate going back and forth, but it is playing at the same time. So, but it's very exciting getting to watch the girls play volleyball. And so we all work together to make sure we got at least 2 people at the practice so I can go watch the volleyball.
Sure, and I want you to get to enjoy that, man. It's moments they'll never have back. And then to be able to work together, how important it is, I guess, for you guys to communicate and talk about where you're going to be and who's taking care of what.
Well, there couldn't be a better trio,
Right.
in my opinion, of us 3. I mean, it seems like things just get worked out easily, and we communicate well. And, you know, and Scott's girls want him doing this, of course, and I've got a family, a little girl and a little boy on the way, and so it's pretty wild. But no, we do really well with each other.
One of my areas that I focus on is more of the mental game. Patton is more swing oriented. Not that we don't do both.
Sure.
And Nathan, he makes the whole ship run.
For sure.
Yeah, without Nathan,
we're lost.
We're lost. So we want to thank him, and you know, all of our community support is tremendous.
I know your AD is always supportive of all the sports and the administration, and I know you want to give shout outs to all them.
Exactly. Our Board of Education, all the faculty and staff are very supportive. You see all the posts on Facebook, and it takes a real team up from the parents involved, from the kids that take them to these tournaments and support them and stay with them. to our community members, to our country club members. You know, it takes a team to make a program work, and we definitely have a great team.
One last question: as we go to the state tournament this weekend, how many rounds is in that? Is there one round? Did somebody get eliminated every round, or is there just one round? How does that end up at the end of the weekend?
So the all A is one round. I wish it was two. I'm sure Scott wishes it was two. A state tournament to me feels like it should be two. But then the big state tournament is 2 rounds plus a semi.
It's a semi plus 2.
Semi plus 2, yeah.
Where's it held at?
This year, the semi-state is going to be at Eagles Nest Country Club in Somerset, and the state tournament is at Bowling Green Country Club. And that's, you know, the All A is such a great experience for our kids. I mean, you know, they get rewarded for their hard work, and rightfully so. They put in a tremendous amount of time. But we've got our regional tournament is September 23rd, and that's to see who goes to you first go to the semi-state. Then from there they qualify, then you go down.
That would be at Stonecrest?
It's Eagles Nest.
Oh.
The regional tournament's at Stonecrest, correct.
Stonecrest, yeah.
You mentioned your one female golfer, Riley Griffith. Did she get to go play in the All A, being the only female player? Is that this weekend as well?
Yes. The boys are on Saturday, and the girls are on Sunday.
Good deal.
So she will be participating as a member of the Hazard golf team. We're proud of her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She shot, I think, her personal best for 18 holes to qualify for the All A state. So we're proud of her and her hard work as well.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you bringing the boys over, and we wish you the best of luck. We're trying to get this show started, and we're looking for ways to promote all of the sports. Scott, sometimes I think some of these sports they don't get the recognition they deserve, and so James and I are trying to give them all a little credit.
And I've watched it, so congratulations to you guys, you know, and thanks for having us over here. I know our guys were excited and nervous probably too, but it's a great way to let people know about our program, and if anybody else wants to come and play, you know, this is what we're here for.
This is how we grow the sport.
Exactly.
Hey, this is great. You guys do awesome.
I'm glad you said that. Ended out. If somebody after watching the show wants to come out and play, how do they get? Who do they need to get a hold of? What do they need?
You have tryouts or just open up, or how's it?
It's open, but to play varsity golf, you have to be in the 8th, 7th grade to then there is a middle school program that we haven't, you know, there's a middle school league or competition that we haven't had enough people to, you know, take advantage of that. But if they want to play, they usually let Nathan know or let us know, or somebody's friend will come out. Like we had 3 new players come out this year, and it's just friends of guys that were on the team. Yeah. And that's always awesome.
So Nathan, can they get hold of you through the Hazard High School, or just contact the high school? Yeah. Good deal.
Right.
Yeah, through the Board of Education.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, we wish y'all the best of luck this weekend. Hopefully we can have you back in about 2 weeks, hold the state championship.
Amen.
That'll be tremendous.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Bring it back to the mountains.
Thank you, guys.
This is Mountain Sports Corner with Jamie and James.
And guys, we do want to say once again how much we appreciate everybody this week that subscribed to the podcast. If you haven't done so, do so. Go on there and subscribe to us, listen to it. Remember, you can catch those each Thursday morning bright and early as you're having your breakfast or your morning walk or your commute to work. And then we do want to say, James, thank you so much to the Prairie Central Lady Commodores volleyball team, the Hazard High School football coach that come on with us, and then, of course, the Hazard High School golf. It's a busy show, man. There's a lot of content in today's program.
Yeah, busy show, but they all did well, and we wish them the best of luck.
And you and I, of course, packing our bags, and we're heading to high school football tomorrow night. So until next week, everybody just continue to follow us and hit the like and share buttons, and be sure to let the folks know they can watch us right here on HT24.
Have a good evening.
This is Mountain Sports Corner with Jamie and James.